listeners. My name is Alamuda Hester. I will bring you the agricultural news from SPFS TV. Thank you for joining us on SPFS TV. Now, the headlines. Experts warns investors, farmers on foreign loans. Stakeholder express optimism over improved agricultural financing. Britain backs Nigerians' fight against deforestation's agricultural growth. NIMASA partners agricultural ministry to curb illegal fishing. Boosting agricultural business food productions require assisting smallholder farmers. Now the news in details. Experts warn investors, farmers on foreign loans. Experts in agricultural business have warned investors and farmers to be wary of foreign loans at this period. But instead, they should seek for more intervention opportunities and invest wisely in exports more than imports. A member of National Economic Council, Dr. Oraita Adigun, and chairman of Oyo State Chapter, Institute of Agribusiness Management Nigerian, Holakule Samson, issued the warning during the first edition of this year monthly training session for members of the Oyo State Chapter of IAMM. Adigun emphasized the need for agribusiness investors to consider several indices before setting their plans for the year. In his lecture titled Economic Outlook and Agricultural Direction in year 2002, he said economic outlook is projected to grow by 3% based on the expected recovery from the crude oil prices and productions and further depletion in foreign reserves from $35 billion. He suggested that farmers should be more sensitive to macroeconomic parameters, the general price level inflation, and money policy rates, stressing that this is not a good time for foreign loans. Instead, farmers should seek for more intervention opportunities and invest wisely in exports than imports. Adigun decried instability value of Naira, stressing that this is the time to end foreign exchange. While noting that the sector remains the largest employers of labor in the country, employing more than 36% of the labor force. It described the small fractions always embarked by the government for agricultural research and development, noting that agricultural budgets have been less than 2% of the total budget seized in the last 10 years. He said that business opportunities are numerous, ranging from the food and livestock production, processing, storage, transport logistics, marketing, commodity trading, consultancy, agro-exports, among others that members should tap into. According to him, the share agricultural in Nigerian total export earning remained that compare the crude oil exports, highlighting that Nigerian major agri-imports includes wheat, sugar, fish, and milk, while its main agricultural exports are seasoned needs, cashew, nuts, cocoa beans, ginger, frozen scribes, and cotton. He noted that seasoned cashew, the nuts, and cocoa accounts for the more than half of the nation's agricultural exports, while maintaining that agricultural exports that has been on the deadline and Nigerian agricultural engagement has been on the increase. Stakeholders expressed optimism over improved agricultural financing. Stakeholders in the agricultural sectors have expressed optimism as the third beneficiary review of the African Union Comprehensive African agricultural development was being halted. They said Nigerian and other African countries would benefit tremendously if the implementation of Malabo 2014 Declaration are done. Maputo and Malabo summits of 2003 and 2014 respectively, endorsed by the African heads of states, drafted a 7-point agenda which includes an allocation of 10% of their national annual budget of the agricultural sector. However, the focus of the support at least 6% growth rates for the sectors as encapsulated in the framework of improved food security, nutrition, and increase the income of African largely farming-based economics with emphasis on the 7 thematic areas. According to the Constance Okeke, International Project Manager for Scaling Up Investments in Agriculture, Action Aid Nigerian, BR3 launch was an accountability process institute to help measure the process of CAADP implementation in all African countries. She disclosed this during a 2-day BR3 launch with the team strengthening accountability and utilization beneficial preview results. Countdown of BR3 launched. Okeke said, every 2 years a review is done to see how the program is being implemented, and country data are submitted to the African Economic Community, who in turn submits to the African Union. They are analyzed and prepared as a form of reports to head of the state during the summit of the beginning of the year. This is the 3rd beneficial review. It stated in 2017, with the first report released in 2018 submit and second BR for 2019 was submitted at the African head of the state, submit in 2020. The idea of having this event is to join forces and resources to ensure that one of the primary key stakeholders in agricultural development, which is the media, is at forefront of these issues. Britain backs Nigerian fights against deforestation, agricultural growth. The British High Commissioner of Nigeria, Katrina Lynch, has disclosed that the British government is giving the government of Nigeria the necessary support to fight against deforestation and other activities inimical to the environment with a view of ensuring a sustainable agricultural sectors in the country. Lynch, who made this disclosure during a familiarization visit to Okomu Oil Palm Company in Ovia South-West local government area of Edo State, said the British government is also supporting the government of Nigeria in sustainable land principles so as to make agricultural viable. Deforestation is what concerns the British government, and everything is being done to tackle it. We are concerned in preserving the forest to make sure that the agriculture is generally valuable in Nigeria. Every acre has to count as far we are concerned, she said, while noting that the British government had, for the past 5 years, been providing funding to improve the forest and agriculture. Lynch noted that the British government is now looking at support supporting smallholders in the agri sectors, corroborating the High Commissioner of the needs to boost small business in agricultural sectors. The Managing Director, Okon Oil Palm Company, Rahman Heffer, noted that the company is already supporting smaller by giving them the necessary support, adding that from August to now, no fewer than 200 tons first fruit ban were received from smallholders. Heffer said, as a company, we are already fulfilling our ends of the bargain because we have already started bringing smallholders together as an association. From August to now, we have already received more than 200 tons of FAB from smallholders that are working together with us on our program. The government must locate lands to the smallholders, an opportunity to get loan from bank. We can then access the crop as well assist with training. NIMASA partners Agricultural Ministry to kill the illegal fishing. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has sought partnership with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture to kill illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities in Nigerian water. The Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jaman, who described IUU as a threat to the source of livelihood of legitimate fishing, also described exposure of the marine environment to avoidable pollution through unlawful activities. Jaman added that aside from fighting piracy, sea robbery, oil theft, and other maritime vices, the Deep Blue Project aims at preventing unlawful commercial activities like unregulated fishing in our waters. According to the DG, the agency is also focused on preventing marine pollution, which threatens aquatic lives and the jobs of trawler operators who have the requisite permitted to embark on commercial fishing. The DG urged the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to kill the Deep Blue Project, considering the array of benefits it holds for the sector. The Minister, Dr. Mahmoud Abubakar, said under the Deep Blue Project, the country waters are to be protected from degradation due to pollution, exploitation, and illegal fishing. He said while the ministry was aware of some of the issues regarding illegal fishing, the ministry and department officials have put strategies in place to address the situation. Boosting agribusiness food production requires assisting smallholders farmers, driving increased productivity and profitability in African agribusiness will require strategies, positioning, and hand-holding of small-scale farmers who are its major constituents. Experts have said, speaking during the panel sessions at Business Day, African Business Conventions, the Mayor Von Kemedi, Chief Executive Officer, Aluvia Agriculture, said that a greater percentage of food in Africa is produced by small-scale farmers. Consequently, African agricultural potential is largely underutilized due to the prevalence of the small-scale farmer who have limited resources for functions. Commercial agriculture has a significant challenge in sub-Saharan Africa, A very significant percentage of food produced in Africa is done by the small-scale farmers. The best things to do is just to strengthen them, he said. Kennedy added that Africa must address the assumptions of small farmers can only work on 1 hectare. Nothing that most intervention programs insist on 1 hectare per farmers. Farming is very profitable, but not a tiny scale. Looking at compensative 3 tons per hectare, they should not be doing that, rather they should do double of that or more. 10 or 20 hectares of land is no big deal for small-scale farmers to manage, he said. Kennedy said that when farmers make their profit and it's divided by 12 months, it is usually insignificant and not enough to meet their needs. In addition to this, most of them have loans, they are 7, all of which erode their profitability. Speaking to access to funds, Kennedy said in psychological mind with which farmers see intervention is a significant barrier to continuous funding in sustainability, and is a general responsibility to ensure that the farmers are on the same page with financials. In many cases, farmers start with the assumption that there is no need to repay, and on the other hand, they encounter challenges that will require input from a third party to address in order to improve their repayment capability, he said. And that is the end of the news, compiled by Omoni Samson, assisted by Ayoniyi Okwemiko. Thanks for watching and listening to us.